This is a sad thing, and this is where overhype meets too much streamer push, in my opinion, meets a decent game that did not think about how they were going to bring in player mechanics and make it simple enough for the average player to play. Which is funny because it's a cartoon game around dodgeball. I play this game. James, did you ever play Knockout City?
No, I watched a few people play it that
Well, guess what? You're never going to play Knockout City.
Why?
It's gone. It's done.
What do you mean it's gone?
It's out. Knockout City is closure.
The dodgeball game?
Yep.
I thought this had all kinds of viewers.
No, not since the
People
first
were playing
week.
it like crazy.
Not since the first week.
They just did a big content drop with like the Ninja Turtles or some shit.
It's over. Done. Knockout City's closure is part of a painful truth of the gaming industry, studio says. They are no longer supporting the game. They're pulling it off because they don't have enough people playing. Biggest reasons they think, one major thing is they pushed it. There was a ton of hype. Mercs was playing it. All those guys were playing dodgeball. They had a ton of people viewing. Everybody loved it. And then no one stayed.
When the streamers left, the regular people didn't keep playing.
The regular people left. And what happened was the guys that were playing that were really well dominated the game so much that no one getting into the game could have a good time. So
because the player base wasn't big enough to not keep running against the same people.
The player base wasn't big enough, and the player base also wasn't big enough to do skill-based matchmaking, which is the only time skill-based matchmaking has ever made sense for a game because of the skill gap that's actually in this game to learn how to play it and the timing and all the things that it took and the different ways to play. So if you were just starting out,
I always feel bad in these situations for people that paid for content, skins or whatnot. Like it's gone.
You know that. I mean, like anytime you purchase something, it's, especially with digital content, it can go away. Like, I mean, think about all the movies that you purchase. Like if you decide to buy a movie digitally and Apple decides to pull it off and you don't download it, it's gone. You're never going to get that content back.
Yeah.
So if you do actually buy things and you don't just stream it all, download them because
exactly.
Keep a copy because when they pull it off, you're not going to get it back.
Like I said, I feel sad for the developers. It's hopefully games can learn from this, but I don't even know what lesson it is to be learned. What would they do different? I mean, they can't make people play the game.
No, I mean, and so it's kind of thing. Despite over 12 million players at launch, Knockout City joins countless other games that struggled to find a happy medium. It was the biggest game in the world, but neither were its lobbies. Neither were the lobbies empty. I've played other games where at the end of their days, you find yourself queuing up with the same 6 or 10 people because you literally the last players that played in the community. So there's a game, I guess, Onrush that had that same thing. And that's kind of where it's at. I kind of said this about Halo too. When I went back to play Halo, I played 3 games in a row against the same lobby.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. And honestly, I think it was, there because the skill base, you're all kind of the skill base that you have to play and you're in that group. But here you're playing the same people because there's no one else on the server.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of expect no one's going to be the overnight success that Fortnite was. No one's going to have that like staying power that they have. You have to continue to move content, to continue to bring people out.
I mean, you had Splitgate and Fall Guys that launched very similar to the way that Knockout City did. But even when the majority of the streamers left, the big names left to go back to their Call of Duties and Apexes and stuff, those games were able to have enough content and keep a core group of players. So it's kind of like, what did Knockout City not do that those games did?
Yeah, and really, I think of what happened is they kind of mention it here. I believe this is from their CEO Bala, last name Bala. It did come down to metrics. Being able to have the retention of players. We had a strong core community, but a lot of players who really enjoyed the game kind of just came through. They may go away for a while, they may come back, but overall retention rate, it was very low, which is critical to the heartbeat of any kind of live service game. has to be a certain level of mouth to mouth, but otherwise makes sense. Otherwise, we're not able to create a sustainable business to keep it going. And that's the cold, hard reality that we face today, which makes it a really hard reality and really emotional. So all they're saying is we had players, they were just too casual.
Yeah.
We're always talking about we're going to cater to the casual. They almost catered too far to the casual, and the hardcore gamers left and the casual here. So really just kind of bringing this up because I was very surprised because of how new the game was. But
it's not even a year old, right? Didn't it come out in the summer last year?
A year in May. It was a year.
Would have been a year in May.
No, a year this May. So 2022 May to here. It made it a year.
Well, it's February.
Well, they're not shutting it down until.
Oh, they're going to shut it down after the year.
Yeah, so it's not. They're saying we are done. We're letting you know it's done. We're going to shut it down.
What if there's a resurgence in players? Can that happen? Is that ever? What do you think?
I have no idea. Maybe. I highly doubt it though. I don't think you'll see that.
It's also a free to play game, so their season pass model might not have been good.
Closing a free to play game, like, oh, ouch.
I mean, you think you could port that over to mobile or something?
It might be a decent game, or just like shut it down for a little bit and try to fix it. Come back again, be like, hey, we changed the thing. We listened to the community, but really, you're also looking at a struggling economy. Like, it's easier to shut this whole thing down and move your guys onto something else than try to keep this running and dying game. And I kind of almost respect their decision to say, you know what, we went out there, we tried, and it failed, and we're just gonna cut the head off the snake right now.
Yeah,
and we're just gonna be done with it. We're gonna move on to our next thing. Don't know what it is. They're basically saying for more on Knockout Cities, the team enabled to stay live. Somewhere around June 6th, they're going to stay live till. So in the summer, you're going to see it go away.